So let's start with the past paper question and understand what a payoff table is, and then we'll come back to these techniques. So we are starting with a past paper of December 2018 attempt, and let's understand how to make a payoff table. Now, the question that I'm starting right now is shifters haulage. First of all, I would want to underline a few important things. And the first task that I'm giving you people is to figure out that what is DA here and what is state of nature. Remember, when probabilities are attached, so it is state of nature because this is something outside the control. Shifter haulage is considering changing some of the vans it uses to transport freights for customers. The new vans come in three sizes. So there are three sizes of vans like small van, medium van, and large van. SH is unsure about which type to buy. So SH is unsure about which type to buy means that shifter haulage is not sure about which type of van to buy. So this means that they have to take decision about the van that they need to buy. Either they should go for small van, medium van, or large van. The capacity is 100 crates for small van and 150 crates for medium van and 200 crates for large van. So by looking at this, it is quite clear that the three vans have different capacities, different crates capacities, and this is decision alternative. So the decision that you have to take is DA. So as we will be making a payoff table right now, I am just reading the requirement in front of you as well. So this will make it clear that we are making a payoff table. So let's start making the payoff table. Let me just quickly move towards the requirement. Part B, prepare profit table. Profit table is once again a payoff table showing 6 possible profit figures per period for 9 marks. So let's see here how to make a payoff table. Now, once you're making a payoff table, so it is very important for you to first identify what is decision alternative. And here it is clear that decision alternatives here are vans, and there are 3 options available. One is small, one is medium, and one is large. So if you look as far as the DAs are concerned, so there are 3 options of DAs, and that is small, medium, and large vans. So this is DA. Now the second thing to find out is something which is not under the control of the decision maker. Decision maker has the control to opt for which type of van they want to go for, but cannot control things which are not under their control. Like, let's see, demand for crates varies and can either be 120 or 190, with the probability of higher demand figure being 0.6. Now, you can see here there is clear indication about the probability given here. So the probabilities are attached with demand. So it says that the demand would either be 120 or 190. So this is clear that state of nature here is demand, and there are 2 possibilities of demand, either be 120 or demand being 190. So if you look here, there are 3 decision alternatives, 3 options, SML, and the 2 demand possibilities. Either demand will be 120 or the demand will be 190. And like this, what you have to do, you have to find out the outcomes. Now, the best way to find out the outcomes is there are 3 DAs and 2 demand possibilities. And why I'm saying this is state of nature, it is quite clear that probabilities are attached. So as you all know that the sum of probabilities is equals to 1. So the higher demand figure is 0.6. The probability for higher demand is 0.6, which means the probability for a lower demand would be 0.4, because higher demand is 0.6, so lower demand will be 0.4. And this is what you need to keep in your mind, that higher demand figure being 0.6 and lower demand being probability being 0.4, and this is state of nature. Now, to identify how many outcomes will be there, so it's very easy to figure out that there are 3 van sizes and 2 demand possibilities. So if you just multiply 3 with 2, so you get 6 outcomes. So there are 6 possible profit outcomes that can give rise to, and there are 6 possible profit outcomes that is a possibility. And let me tell you that this 6 outcomes will be worked out, how 6 profit figures can be worked out, and this is a payoff table that I'm showing you here. So you will make a payoff table, and on the basis of this payoff table, we will be showing the 6 possible profit figures. So you can make a payoff table, and now if as in examination, as we all know that now as CVs have been introduced, so you have to do this working on spreadsheet, but that is not difficult because you have spreadsheets available in the paper, so you can easily make a payoff table by using the rows and the columns. So this is a payoff table. Now in a payoff table, in columns we will be showing the decision alternative, and that decision alternative is van sizes, and van sizes are 3: small, medium, large, where the small capacity is around 100 and medium capacity is 150 and large capacity is 200. On the side of rows will be showing state of nature, that is sun, which is demand, and demand possibilities are 2: either demand will be 120 or the demand will be 190. So this is how we make a payoff table, and an examination on spreadsheet we can make exactly like this. So you can see here there are 3 DAs and 2 sons, and this is how the working will be done. So you need to work out 6 profit figures, starting from the first one. This is the first profit figure, then the second profit figure, then third profit figure, then fourth profit figure, then fifth profit figure, and then sixth profit figure. And yes, keep this in your mind that once you're calculating profits, so first just calculate the profits for each DA for all the possibilities of decision alternative. Like for small, you will work out the profit if the demand is 120 or 190. Then you come to medium and calculate the profits for the 2 possibilities of medium, and then you come to large and calculate the 2 possibilities for large. So make it like this. Complete each DA first. Complete each DA first. First small, then come to medium, and then come to large. So it is important to complete each DA first and then move on to the next one. Now we need to calculate 6 profit figures. Now for that, let's go back to the question and read further information. And you all know how to calculate profit. So it's very simple. Sales minus cost is profit. Okay. The selling price per crate is 10 and the variable cost per crate is 4 for all the van sizes, subject to the fact that, now this is important to understand, if the capacity of the van is greater than the demand in a period, then variable cost will be lowered by 10% to allow for the fact that vans will be partly empty when transporting crate. Now, just keep this in your mind, and this is when the capacity of the van is more, which means, let's suppose in a van there are 100 people seats available. There are 100 people seats available in a van. So 100 people can sit in a van. Okay. So the capacity is 100, but the demand is less than the capacity. For example, 80 people came in the van, 70 people came in the van, 40 people came in the van. So this means that the capacity now is more of 100 and the people who came in the van are less than 100, maybe 70, 80, 40. So the demand is less and the capacity is more. Okay, the demand is less and the capacity is more. So whenever this is the case, that the capacity is more and the demand is less, so variable cost has to be 90% then of the current variable cost, which means the variable cost will be lowered down by 10%. So you will reduce the variable cost. It is just because there are certain seats in the van which have not been consumed because the capacity is more and the demand is less. So that is why the variable cost has to be lowered down by 10% to allow for the fact that the van was not completely filled. Okay. Now, moving forward, it says that the company is concerned that if demand for crates exceeds the capacity. Now, this is a separate situation, and this is what now the demand is more and the capacity is less. The demand is more. Okay, are you getting my point? The demand is more and the capacity is less. So this is a situation in which you see that if there is a capacity of 100 people in a van, and for example 120 came in the van, or 130 came to sit in the van, or 150 came to sit in the van. So as the van had 100 students capacity or 100 people capacity available, and if anyone who is coming more than 100, so that person cannot be accommodated. So if the van can accommodate 100 people and 110 people came, so only 100 could be accommodated and 10 has to be turned away. So 10 has to be turned away, and this could be like this as well. For example, 190 people came, 190 people came, and 100 is a van size. So 190 people came. So how many have to be turned away? 90 have to be turned away because the company can only accommodate 100 people. So in that case, what will happen? So let's see. If the van demand for crates exceeds the capacity of the van, the customer will have to be turned away. In this case, goodwill of 100 would be charged against profits per period to allow for the lost future sales, regardless of the number of customers that are turned away. Now, over 100, you are turning out the customers. Now, let it be 10, 20, 100, or 150, whatever it is. Over 100, whatever you are turning out, the number of customers away. So in that case, you will be charging 100 as a goodwill charge, because this results in bad reputation, because you are refusing the customers to accommodate. So that is why there will be a goodwill charge, as we are refusing the customers to accommodate. Now, depreciation for small with 200, medium for 300, and large for 400. And part B is prepare a profit table showing 6 profit possible figures per period. So let's start with the calculation, keeping all these things in mind that I've just explained to you. So let's start with working 1, then working 2, then we're doing working 3, working 4, working 5, working 6. Now, sales. So let's work out sales. So it's quite easy to figure out. It's like a game if you just treat it like a game. Now, if the decision maker goes for small van, because remember, state of nature is something that you will that you will get to know in future. But the decision you have to take right now, and this is risk actually. What risk is? Risk means that you take a decision before something has happened. So you are not sure what the demand will be, and the demand will be something that you'll get to know in future. It might be 120 or 190. So whatever the demand will be in future, the decision to buy the van has to be taken today. And this is the risk. This is the risk, that before time you have to take the decision. Before that actual demand clarity, you have to take the decision, and vans have to be purchased right now. So it's a gamble that you do. If you purchase a high capacity van and demand might be low, or vice versa. If you purchase a low capacity van and demand might be high. So this is the risk we are talking about. So remember, the decision to buy the van will be taken before we get to know what the demand will be in the future. And this is a risk. So the decision to buy the van has to be taken before we'll get to know what the demand will be in the future. And for such decision making, we are doing certain projections, we're doing certain estimated calculations, and on the basis of that, we'll take the decision. Okay, now, so if we go for a small van, so the revenue will be 100